Hey there, Phoenixes, and welcome to Redesign Your Life Forever's Friday Creative episode, Free Create Fridays. If this is the first time you are joining us, welcome. I am Daniela Langford, your transformation catalyst and your soul rejuvenation specialist. You know, I truly believe that everyone needs a hobby or a creative pursuit to feel fulfilled in everyday life. It really truly has a massive impact on our mental, emotional, and yes, even spiritual well-being and healing abilities. So I've created Free Create Fridays as my personal self journey and my self-care log of the different hobbies, art, DIY, crafts, all of the amazing fun things that I love to do for my own creative inspiration. And I have brought them here to you to serve the same. I also put these videos not only on YouTube, but also in my Facebook group of Redesign Your Life Forever. And if you are interested in joining or know someone who is, please click on the link below in the description if you are on YouTube, and you will be able to apply to join there. There will also be a link there if you are interested to work one-on-one with me to discover how easy and fun it can be to reincorporate creativity and just that passion for life back into your life. Because let's be honest, all of our lives have become very humdrum, very everyday, very doldrum, 9 to 5, and it really is killing our soul. So Free Create Fridays is here for you to remind you, to reinvigorate you, to inspire you. And that is what I have created it for. A record not only of my personal journey, but to provide you, the viewer, with that inspiration, with that encouragement. For those of you who are out there, who are looking to rediscover your creative soul, looking for how to free yourself from the everyday humdrum, that drudgery that life has become for so many of us. So if this is sounding like you are in the right place, my lovely. And this week we are going to be cracking off with another fabulous project. We are continuing our crystal DIY series here with week 3. Week 1, we went and practiced and played with how to create our own crystals at all using borax and pipe cleaners. Week 2, we went ahead and tried all new kinds of materials. We did 3 different kinds of mediums and materials that you can actually make crystals out of. And this week 3, we are going to be exploring the different kinds of bases that you can use to actually create your crystals on. So this week we're going to be bringing in things like shells and sea stones and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So just to show you how amazing and how different you can create your own kinds of crystal formations. So bring it on in. After our bit of power pose and stretch time, we're going to get right into the materials, and I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to DIY, grow your own crystals, just like we used to when we were kids, but way better. Bring it on in, you guys. Let's get started. Okay, everybody, here we are. I backed off a little bit from the camera just so you can see what I'm doing. If you've not taken the chance yet to get up and move with us, I highly encourage you to do so, because this is a great opportunity to sneak some power poses or some stretching in that really helps your body start that healing process, begin to not only heal itself, but when you feel better in your physical body, your mental, emotional, spiritual bodies also feel better as well. And I know that you know that to be true, because if you've ever experienced it, you can definitely know it to be true. So come on up, jump on up out of your chair and join in with me here. We are going to start off, as always, with our nice fall forward to get that whole body stretch from arms back to legs. Just take it on down. Can shake it out in the knees if you like. You want to keep those hips nice and loose. You don't want to be locking your knees back at all, but just kind of like a nice little shimmy if the mood strikes you. Do a bit of a turn here. Twist to the left. And to the right. Center. Bring it on up. And reach. Reach back. As far as you can go comfortably. If you can't go back as far as I can, or even just that. Just this is enough. Just that little bit. Just to go back where you went forward. So now we're going to do our power poses. Again, if you've been watching these DIYs, you will be familiar with these power poses by now because I have been doing them for our crystal DIYs because I absolutely love them. And it is a fantastic way to spend 2 minutes to be able to reinvigorate your physical body. And those endorphins in your brain tell you that you've got, pleasure going on and all kinds of things, and it really boosts your energy. Just 2 minutes. So we're going to get started here. I've got my legs nice and wide apart because I'm just going to get a little bit lower down in the camera. And we are going to put our hands on our hips. And this is called the Wonder Woman or the Superman for you gentlemen. This is the Wonder Woman, and as you can see, it's just very, very simple. I'm not reaching back with my arms or anything, We're not cranking any joints, doing any of that. We're just doing it nice and easy. If you'd like to do a nice wide stance, this is a good opportunity to also practice some lunge stretching. I love doing compound stretches, compound movements, dance stretching, all kinds of these things that kill multiple birds with one stone, because I'm really all about getting the most effectiveness that you can out of your time. You want to know how to do something effectively? Ask a lazy person. I'm just kidding. That adage is kind of almost true. All right, and we're going to reach up and do our victory pose. If you don't recall, that is just literally straight up and down. And this one may be a little difficult for some of you to hold because yes, it will crank on your shoulders. You're going to be working those shoulders. And if it does get tiring, you can just move your hands down back to the Wonder Woman. It works perfectly. That's why I love to introduce these two to you together, because if your arms get tired doing one, then you can do the other, but you still get the benefit. So we're just gonna hold our arms here for just one more minute. There we go. Not a few more minutes, but you can do it for a few minutes if you build yourself up to it. You are more than welcome. But 2 minutes really is all you need to jumpstart that mood boosting, energy boosting effect. Don't forget to breathe. Seconds, you can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Ah. Woo. I can feel my shoulders burning. Do you feel your shoulders burning? I probably bet you do. All right, my lovelies, we are done all here, and we are going to go ahead and grab all of our materials, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to DIY your own crystals on some really sweet seashell bases. I'm so excited to do this. Crystal. All right, everyone, here are all the materials that you are going to need if you're going to play along with us today. If you haven't checked out the other 2 videos on the DIY growing your own crystals, I highly suggest you do, because then all of this stuff will be very, very familiar to you, and then you can just get cracking right in right away. But if you want to go ahead and just start from here, that's fine too. I'm going to show you everything that you need to get started with us today. You're going to need a heat-proof measuring cup, and that means heat-proof because we are going to be putting boiling water in this sucker. So definitely glass. I do not like to use plastic for any of these DIY grow your own crystal projects. No plastic. With the exception of some kind of throwaway plate. This one happens to be plastic, but this is mainly just for our crystal formations to dry on once we've pulled them out of the liquid in a couple of days. Also, it's good to have a towel lying around, as you know, anything having to do with liquid. So for what we're going to be making the crystals out of, you're going to either need borax, which you can find in your laundry section at pretty much any store. Some Epsom salt, which you will find in the bath section. And alum, or alum, however you like to say it, which you will find in your spices section. You can also choose to use food coloring to dye your crystals. The more food coloring that you use, the brighter that they will be. And the piece de resistance, of course, you will need to gather up some shells and sea stones. As you can see, I have quite the collection here of some shells and stones that I have found along rivers and on beaches. And also these ones are fun because these are broken pieces of beautiful shells that I think would really take to having crystalline on them and really give them a new life and a new character. So we're going to also be trying these broken pieces as well. So this is all you're going to need to grow your own crystals. Again, we are going to be filling this with hot water, steaming hot, if not boiling. And then we're going to be dissolving one of these 3 mediums in our glass here, whichever one you choose. Again, if you go back to the second video on more DIY crystals, you will see me test out these 3 different components, 3 different materials, I should say, to see which one of the crystalline structures you like best to use for your project. This week, I do think I'm going to use the alum because it made a really cool, beautiful, chunky crystalline structure, whereas the borax made a much more fine, much more stardust type of structure, which was also very beautiful. So this one, again, if you saw the video, did not go so well, and we are going to be remounting that. Also in this video, I'm going to be doing a little aside and retrying this Epsom salt with our pipe cleaners, just so that you can see what the crystalline structure looks like. All right, here's everything that you will need. I'm going to go fill this bad boy up with some hot water so that we can start dissolving our alum powder in it. And then we will be dropping our shells into the powder, and then we're going to leave it be. So let's get started. I also forgot to mention that you will need a spoon. I love these kind of slotted spoons for this project. Don't worry that all of these things are body safe. So if you accidentally forget to rinse it off and stick it in your mouth, it's not going to kill you. But if you get the borax in your mouth, you're probably like, ugh, soap. But anyway, perfect slotted spoon for stirring. So, woo! It wants to be in the cup. It already wants to be in the cup. So what I've got here is about 2.5 cups of steaming hot water, and we're going to do the Epsom again, and this is going to be the same basic principle for all of your growing crystal needs. So here we go, we're just going to pour some in. Whoop. And that is why we like to use a towel. And we're just going to stir this until it completely dissolves. And I have rigged up a little base for us here. And if you don't know how to rig up this little base, go ahead and check out the previous 2 DIY Grow Your Own Crystal videos, and that will show you exactly how to make this little base here. We're going to stick this actually in our solution because we want to prime it. Oh, so that's getting a little heavy. All right, I'm also going to pick out, whoop, my goodness, just throwing things today. I'm also going to pick out one of my broken shells and another one of my sea stones, and we're just going to place those there in the bottom. And again, remember, the more of this, the brighter they And we are just going to set it and leave it be. Right? we're just gonna let that sit and see what happens with it. Also, just out of curiosity, I wanna use the lid and one of our shells because from what I have heard and played with and seen, that crystals should form pretty much anywhere there is liquid as it evaporates away, leaving the crystalline structure of the salt behind. Now what I'm gonna do is empty this out. It's okay to go down the drain because much like Epsom salt, you use it in your bathtub, it goes down the drain, it's okay. And I've also gone ahead and found one that had a hole in it already naturally and just tied it to this string, as you can see here. And I'm gonna do the same process and just let it sit. So I'm gonna redo this, go pour this out, and redo the hot water, get some more hot steamy water going. And then we are going to put our alum powder in there and just let this whole thing soak with all of our wonderful shells and rocks and stones in it, with one hanging, just so we can get a difference and see what the difference would be. Okay, here we go with part 2. We've got our alum ready. We've got our hot steamy water ready. I've got just under 2.5 cups here. I didn't want to fill it up too much because I know I'm going to be putting more in there, but I also wanted to make sure there's just enough for our little shell to be covered, but not have too much in there. Because this is not the super cheapest of the 3, I would have to say. It was probably about $2.50, $3, $4, depending on where you get it from, just for this little jar doodle, but it does make some really beautiful structures. So if you know that you're going to be doing a project specifically for something, and you know that you want big, nice, beautiful, chunky crystals, got some anger issues there. Just kidding. Then you definitely could go with the alum and buy that specifically for that project. It's interesting to see the water actually react. It's fizzing a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. It's actually fizzing a little bit from the natural salt of the ocean from me pulling these. So I'm just gonna rip him right in there. So he's just gonna hang out right in there, hanging just like our previous projects. Wow, it really is going, isn't it? This is new for me because I haven't tried the sea stones yet, and some of them are thoroughly rinsed and some of them I kind of just like half-assed rinsed them off, and yeah, wow, you can really see the reaction. I think this one in particular is from the the sand dollar, because of all of the salt water residue that was on the inside. So again, with this we are just going to gently pick it up. Don't want to jostle it too much. And just sit it off here to the side and let it do its thing. We're going to leave these alone for approximately 2 days, 2.5 days, and then we are going to see how they turned out. Alrighty, Phoenixes, here we are. It is almost a week later, actually. My week got quite busy all of a sudden on me, but you know what? This is definitely one of those projects that if you do end up having to leave it, it's definitely not going to be hyper detrimental to the project. So as you can see, our top has still got some liquid in it to evaporate. So I'm going to continue to let that evaporate. However, you can totally see right there these beautiful little crystal formations. And again, this was just a, basically a science experiment of putting them in the lid and the shell, see what would happen. Check that out. super beautiful. And I'm sure if I continue to let this dry and evaporate, that it will create those crystals down there in chunks. And here is our oyster shell, looking super beautiful. Very oceanic. It kind of got quite dyed. That's okay. I think I'm going to put a hole in this one and make a necklace out of it. I think that would be beautiful. I'm just going to set him to the side over here and let that dry out. So here we have our jar of Epsom. I don't know if you can see that. Bring it on in. Look at the crystallization at the top of this jar. Look at this. Look at that. Just gorgeous chunks. Just gorgeous chunks of crystal. And again, this is mostly from it evaporating just off the top right there. So let's see how we did. Oh, wow. Check that out, Phoenixes. Check that out. Look at those. Look at that. Ooh, we're getting a little drippage. Dandy cloths. Wow, look at that. Now it didn't take on the shape as the borax crystals did, but look at that. It actually created crystalline, actual quote-unquote crystal shapes that you would imagine seeing, that you would put into a necklace. Look how beautiful. That is incredible. Look at that. Wow. Fabulous. I would definitely call this one a success. Very gentle. Let's see if I can't pop some of those off a little later. See what they look like. All right, I think I put a few more things down in here. Let's see if I can't fish them out. Super cool. So let's go ahead and check out our alum. Here is our first one. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a cap on there, but it does not seem as if much grew on our hanging piece here. Again, this is all just an experiment. There is no right or wrong when you do things like this, because it is literally just for fun. Gonna take these out. Oh, that's pretty. Again, the rock almost too slippery for anything to grow on it, except this little nubbin here. Very cute little nubbin though. You can definitely see the formation style of the crystals here. The alum. Got some little baby seeds here that if I stuck this back in some more alum water, that these would grow much bigger. Here's a really nice chunk. I just pulled it right out of the center of our shell here. really pretty. Very natural looking. There you go. Seal that, and that by itself, put a little hole in there. That would be a beautiful light catcher to hang. You could just imagine the light bouncing off of all those little crystals. And again, here even, these harden up nicely. And here is our oyster shell. They almost look like little barnacles on him. How adorable is that? Well, this definitely was a successful experiment and very fun to boot. And again, I left this accidentally a little longer than you probably could have. And it still worked out okay. We still had something to show for it. We still have something to work with that we can use in the future. So I am calling that a total success. Awesome. So let me get all cleaned up here and we'll finish up. Alrighty, my dears, we are all finished up here for this week. And how fun was that? You know, as a kid, again, you know, you get these crystal kits and you grow them. And I really feel like you did not get as much of a crystal growth even than how we did here. Just whoop, as more of them start to fall off because it's still wet. But just right there, just the fact that there's really nice actual formations that you can see if my camera would focus. Come on, focus. And again, on our beautiful little shell here, this one I'm definitely going to be turning into a necklace. So stay tuned for our next episode where I'm going to be showing you how to drill holes into shells and prepare them to be used as jewelry. I love shell jewelry. I love ocean jewelry, wrapping sea stones and sea glass and all kinds of things like that. So if you love it too, you are definitely going to want to stay tuned for next week. And again, here is our Epsom crystal. Super beautiful. Again, I know I'm just gonna drill a nice hole right there on top. I can see it now. Just this big old shiny thuddy thing. Love it. Don't you love it? I love all shiny things. All right, my lovelies. So that is going to be us for this week. I'm so happy that you were able to join me and join in the fun. If you do try this project, I would love to see your results down below or again on YouTube. Put them in the comments. I would love to see how your projects turn out. This is Daniela of Redesign Your Life Forever, bringing you DIYs and tutorials to revitalize your creative soul every week. And I will see you next time. Love you.